Okay, let's get this started. So the question, if you read it, you know that the price ticket is 13 per student, and the bus ride is going to go for $10 for the whole ride. So it's not $10 for each student for the bus. It's $10 for the whole bus ride for everyone in the classroom. Okay, so first question, how will the number of students affect the price? Well, the answer to that is, let me just change. Here we go. The answer to that is that, well, the number of students affect the price is because we have more students. The more students, the more expensive it's going to be, and the less students, the least expensive, the less expensive it's going to be. Okay, so the number of students affect the price because the more expensive, and the less expensive. How will they know how much money they need to make? Well, they can calculate the number of students times the price of the ticket plus $10 for the bus ride. What value varies in this example? The only thing that varies is and I'll write it here, the only thing that varies is the number of students. And we already have a delay. I wonder if it's my computer. Well, anyways, so the number of students is the only thing that will change. The price of the bus is going to be $10 no matter what, and the price of the ticket is going to be $13 no matter what. So that's not going to change. Write an expression to show the amount of money the class needs to make. Well, the class needs to make, well, we need to pay $10 for the bus ride, plus we're going to have to pay $13 times the number of students that show up. So that's an S, not a 5. Okay, so that's our expression. So if 10 students attend, we're going to pay $10 for the bus, and then we're going to have to pay buy 13 tickets. 13 tickets times the number of students, which is 10. So if we do this following order of operations, we get 10 plus 13 times 10, which is 130, and that gives us a total of 140. How much will it cost if 17 students attend? So we can use the same expression. Again, we pay $10 for the bus ride for everybody, and the price of the ticket is 13, and we multiply that times 17. Okay, and we're going to get that 13 times 17, and let's see if I can do this on my calculator. 221. So the bus ride is going to be $10 plus 221 for all the tickets for all 17 students, and that gives us a total of $231 at the end. Okay. Mr. White drives 55 kilometers a day for work. How many kilometers will he drive in 5 days? So it's 55 kilometers per day, and in this case he drives for 5 days. So in that case, 55 times 5, which is going to give us a total of 275 kilometers. So again, and what happens if he drives for 8 days? Well, 55 kilometers times the number of days, and that's going to give us 55 times 8. It's going to give us 440 kilometers. And in 50 days, it'd be 55 times the number of days, in this case 15, and you go 55 times 15, and that gives us 825 kilometers. Write an expression. Well, to write an expression, you look at the 3 problems that you just did. The one thing that changes is the number of days, and therefore that's going to be our variable. And in this case, it asks us to use the letter D for days. The one thing that stayed the same throughout this whole, it's the number of kilometers he drives per day. So 55 times the number of days will represent the number of kilometers. So that will give us total kilometers. Okay. Numero 2. Sean's father is working on the crew, blah, blah, blah. He found that each story is 13 feet tall. So each floor is 13 feet tall. How tall in feet would a skyscraper be if it were 55 stories? So we know that each story is 13 feet tall times the number of stories in this case are 55. So you get that 13 times 55 equals 715 feet tall. Okay. Again, the important thing is not the calculations here. The important thing is that for you to realize that in each problem, something stays the same and something varies. Okay, 13 times 65, and just got 65 here. You're going to get 845 feet. And let's do one more. 13. If the building 75 stories, it's going to be 13 times 75, and that's 13 times 75. It's going to give us 975 feet. Okay, we want to create an expression over this. So 13, you notice that doesn't change, so that's going to stay the same. And what did change is the number of stories, and they want us to use the letter F for the number of stories. There's your expression, 13 times F, and F representing the number of possible stories. That would give us the height, the total height of the skyscraper. Okay. I really would like to know why my computer is so slow. Let me try to close some of the programs down. Okay, so that's that. Next question. Número 3. 55 figurines reports in a case. Alright, so there are 55 dolls in a case, in a box, or whatever you want to call it. So 55 in the box, and in this case we have 750 boxes. Okay, 55 times 750, that would give us, wow, 41,250 porcelain dolls. That's a lot of dolls. So probably a company that specializes in this, and they're exporting. So 55 times 1,000 in this case will give us 55,000. So if you had 1,000 boxes or 1,000 cases, you have a total of 55,000 figurines. 55 times 1,250 would give us 55 times 1,250, 68,750. So again, you can clearly tell that 55 here is what stays the same. And so our coefficient is 55. And what changes is the number of boxes or cases in this case, and I guess we can use the letter C. Here's our expression, 55 times C. That will give us the total number of figurines. Okay. 4. The rental fee for a bike is $10 plus $3 for each hour. How much will it cost if you want? Alright, so it's $10 no matter what. Just to get the bike in your possession, they will charge you $10. And in addition to that, they will charge you $3 for every hour that you're on it. So for 1 hour, let's see, I'm going to have to pay $10 no matter what. And then plus, you're going to have to pay $3 times the number of hours that you're riding. And in this case, you rode the bike for an hour. And that's going to give us 3 times 1, which is 3, and 10 plus 3 is $13 is your total. Okay. Second one, what happens if you ride the bike for 8 hours? Well, again, you're going to pay $10 no matter what. And then they're going to charge you $3 times the number of hours, which is 8. 3 times 8 is 24 plus 10. We end up paying $34. And for 1 day, whew. So again, you're going to pay $10 no matter what. And then a whole day has 24 hours. So you're going to pay 3 times the number of hours in a day, which is 24. And 3 times 24 is, let's see, 672 plus 10. It'll give you a total of $82 as your total. The expression, so look above the 3 problems you just did. Our constant 10, you pay no matter what, plus a $3 an hour fee, $3 times, and you're multiplying, but multiplying 3 times the one thing that changes in all 3 problems, which is the number of hours, and that's going to be represented by h. And there's our expression, and that you can write equals total cost. Okay. So keep in mind, so it's nice to do it this way, so you can clearly see that what changes and what stays the same, and hence the point of doing it this way. Numero 5, a wireless service provider, okay, charges $29.99 per month plus a service plus 10 cents for each text message. So again, it's like almost like the bowling problem we did. You're going to pay $29 Oops. Hang on. Come on. Okay. You gotta pay $29.99 a month, no matter what. Okay, for your wireless service. Then they're gonna charge you 10 cents for every text message that you sent. Okay, so $29.99 plus and 10 cents per, and how many text messages? In this case, you sent 35 text messages. We got to calculate that. So $29.99 plus 10 cents times 335, and this is 350. Okay, so you get $29.99 plus 3.5 plus 3.5, and that's going to give us a total of $33.49. Okay. Now again, what if it's a different scenario? In that particular month, you send 105 text messages. So again, you're still going to pay the $29.99 no matter what. Plus, and they're going to charge you 10 cents, which is 0.10 or 0.1, whichever you choose. And you're going to multiply the 10 cents times the number of text messages, which is 105. So apparently you had a busy month. So 10 cents times 105 equals 10.50. And you're going to add that to 29.99. And that's going to give you a total of $40.49. Okay. So one more scenario. 217 text messages. So again, $29, regardless if you send anything, any text message at all, is what you're going to pay every month. And you're going to add that to, so you're going to charge again 10 cents times 217 text messages. Okay, so that's going to be 0.10 or 2.17. Okay, I'm sorry, 2170 times, okay, 0.10 times 217 equals plus 29.99. That's going to give you $51.69, and that's what you're going to pay every month. The expression, okay, now you can clearly see what changes and what stays the same every month. So $29.99 is something that you will pay no matter what. And then in addition to that, you're going to pay for text messages. So it's going to be 10 cents times every text message that you send, and they said to use the letter T. We're going to use it, keep it as T. And that should give you your final cost or your total cost of your service for the month. Okay. 6. I think there's a 6. The formula for finding the volume of a rectangular prism is V equals L times W times H. L is length, W is width, and H is height. What is the volume? So again, you have your formula here. L times W times H. All you got to do is substitute. So V equals L times W times H. V equals the length for letter A would be 33 times 47 times 15. Okay, I'm going to actually multiply those numbers out. You get 33 times 47 times 15, and if my calculations are correct, you're going to get 23,265, and what's the, there's no unit. Okay, so you're going to write just units, because volume is measured in units cubed, okay, to the third power. Okay. B, again, same formula, V equals L times W times H, and in this case you have different values. L is 22.5 times 33.7 times 12.5. Okay. So you got 22.5 times 33.7 times 12.5, and that's going to give you a volume of 9,478.125. It didn't say to round or anything, so let's just leave our number like that. And our units, because it's not given to us, we're just going to write units to the third power. Okay, honestly, I wouldn't expect you to do this on a sheet, probably a calculator for these particular numbers. Okay, so again, last one, volume equals length times width times height, and oops, Wow, that was ugly. So let's erase this. Go back to this, and we're gonna write this. So length times width times height. Length is 122.25. So notice that I am substituting. I am replacing our variable with a value that's given to us. So 122.25 times 50.75 times 16.5. Okay, so let's see what, wow, it's going to be some ridiculous number. 122.5, no, 122.25 times 50.75 times 16.5. Jeez. Alright, I'll just multiply this again, sorry. 122.25 times 50.75 times 16.5 equals it's going to equal, and again they didn't ask us to round, so it's going to be some ridiculous number. 102,000, 369 point. Wow. Okay, that came out really ugly. Alright, so let me try this again. So the answer is going to be 102,369.09375. And in all honesty, you probably would have to round this to the nearest hundredth on the test. Okay, so by rounding this nearest hundredth, you want to cut it right here, right between the 9 and 3, and you get 102,369.0, and that 3 is not going to make that 9 go any higher, so it's just going to remain 0.9 units cubed. Okay. Oh, I did. So your first word is going to be, and I'll write it right here. Here's your first word. Yikes, sorry. That's your first word. Dun, 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 dun. Okay? That's a T, by the way. I-S-O-L-A-T. And let's go on to the, so that's our first word. I even circle it for you. Let's go to our next question. Number 7. Boo. We'll eventually be talking about this. The area of the, so here you're given the formula, base times height, but it's the base here is the area of the area of the base is 16 and the height's 2.4. So V equals B times H. Let's do letter A. Again, we're talking about volume, and the base is 16 and the height's 2.4. If you were to multiply these two numbers, you would get 16 times 2.4, which is 38.4, and we have units this case, centimeters cubed. Letter B. Again, volume equals base times height. You're given a formula. You want to find what V is, which is volume, and the second one is 12 times 7. That one is easy enough. 84 units cubed. Okay. And the last one, oh, the area of the base is centimeter and the height is centimeters. Okay, something's wrong with letter C. Okay, so I'm not too sure. Something's wrong with letter C. So I'm going to cross out letter C and kind of ignore it. That didn't make any sense. Let's try 8. Alright, okay, so for number, oh, I see why you guys had problems. Okay, so the volume, okay, the formula here, my apologies. Okay, so let me just pause this for a second. Alright, now I understand why some of you had issues. So the volume, okay, so I guess when I copy this, it didn't come out right. The volume is supposed to be S, which stands for side, to the third power. Okay, so imagine a cube, and now I'm going to draw a cube. Sorry. So if you think of a cube, think of a die. Okay, a die has all the sides that are exactly the same. Okay, so if this is a ½ inch, all sides are ½ inch. If this is 26.4 meters each side, every side is 26.4, and obviously if one side is 100 for letter C, every side is 100. So volume of a cubed, you're going to take the side for letter A, and you're going to go half to the third power. And what does that mean? Remember, exponents here. An exponent tells you how many times to multiply your base times itself 3 times. So you're going to get half times half times half. And multiplying fractions, you know that you just multiply across, numerators with numerators, denominators with denominators. So on the top, 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. The bottom, 2 and 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. So the volume of that particular cube is 1/8 inches cubed. Second one, let's try again. Volume equals side to the third power. So in this case, our side here is 26. Now, why am I doing that? Let me just erase that little thing over here. So it's s to the third power, which is s standing for the side of a cube. Okay, and again, the cube has sides that are all equal. So volume equals 26.4 to the third power. So remember again, to the third power means the base, which in this case it's the number 26.4, times, I'll use 26.4, times 26.4 again. So you're multiplying the base by itself 3 times. Okay, so let's figure out what that is. 26.4 times 26.4 times 26.4 equals a ridiculous number of 18,399.744. Okay, so the volume is 18,399.744 meters to the third power. Okay, and the last one is a little bit easier. So volume again equals s to the third power, and you get volume is that s, which is the side of this particular cube, and the side's a huge cube because it's 100 feet, so you're going to get 100 to the third power. So volume is going to be 100 times 100 times 100, and that's easy enough to multiply in your heads. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 zeros. Okay, and you're going to get 6 zeros. 1 million. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yes, it's 1 million. And 1 million what? 1 million. And let me just lower this a little bit. You can get that. It's 1 million. Let's not forget the unit. 1 million feet. And because it's volume, it's feet cubed. Okay. Okay, now I can completely understand what went wrong. Alright, hope that helped a little bit. And here's your second word. Change colors for your second word. Let's sneak that in here. Here's your second word. Alright, so together those two words form a little statement that is completely related to the lesson that you did today on one-step equations. Okay? That's your second word. Alright, I think there's one more question. I think, yes. Again, alright, my apologies. This is the part that came out wrong. Okay, so area equals 6 times s to the second power. So that's what you should have had, not 6s2. So that came out really wrong. So that's the letter s to the second power. Okay, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do letter C. I'm going to start with the letter C this time because that is a nice one to show you. So we're going to replace. So here's your formula. So we want to try and find the area. So we're going to go 6. And the side of this particular cube is 100. So replace the S with 100. And let's take that to the second power. Order of operation tells us that we should do exponents first, so let's keep the 6 the same way. Times 100 to the second power is 100 times 100, which gives us 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 zeros, which is 10,000. Now we can multiply, and that gives us 6 times 10,000, 60,000. Okay? So again, the problem here, and I can completely understand, was the fact that the formula was given to you incorrectly. It is not that one. Okay? So let's go back to letter B. So area again equals 6 times s to the second power, and hopefully you use a calculator for this. So again, let's replace. So it's 6 times s, in this case is 26.4 to the second power. So now it's just a bigger number, but the operations or the order in which you do this is completely the same. So you're going to do 26.4 times 26.4, because that's what the second power means. Okay, 26.4 times 26.4 times 26.4 equals, and that, so the 6 here stays the same because you're still not multiplying, you're doing exponents for it. So that's going to give you 696.96. That's what 26.4 the second power is. And now you're going to multiply these two. That's going to give you some ridiculous number of 4,181.76. 0.76 meters squared. Okay, so let me go back to the first example. That's 60,000 feet squared. Area is always to the second power. Okay, and we have one more. See if I can squeeze it in here. Area equals, again, copy the formula, 6 times s to the second power. And in this case, it's a very tiny cube. So it's 6 times half to the second power. Okay, so 6 times, and what's half? Half to the second power is just, I'll do it here, half times half. Okay, so fractions, when you multiply, remember, numerator, numerator, denominator, denominator, and you get 1 over 4. So now you go back here, you can replace half squared, half to the second power is 1 over 4. Let's see if I can ignore this. Yes, I can. Now you get 6 times a fourth. You can, if you like, put the 6 over 1, and again multiply across. 6 times 1 on top is 6. 1 times 4 at the bottom is 4. You can definitely simplify this to 3 halves, or 1.5, and the unit here is 1.5 inches squared. Okay, so again, I completely understand now why you guys had some issues, and I apologize for that. So I just copied wrong when I pasted to this. Okay, and that's it. Hopefully it helped, and I'm going to post it. So it's 5:10 right now. Hopefully should be up by 6. Thank you.